High capacity revolvers might be rare, but they pack a punch. Today we're diving into those special wheeled guns that go beyond the classic 6 shots, packing 7 or even 8 rounds of .357 Magnum. Let's get right into what makes these beauties stand out. Now, Ruger loves to build their revolvers like little tanks, strong, rugged, and ready for just about anything. Kind of like me when I still had my hair. And let me tell you, this beauty right here is no exception. Not my bald head, I'm talking about the Ruger. Looks like this thing looked at the phrase built to last and said, challenge accepted. This Redhawk's rocking an 8-shot cylinder. 8 shots! It's filled with every unnecessary doodad you can imagine. But the real magic here is the build quality. Ruger's cold hammer forged barrel gives you the kind of accuracy that'll make you feel like Annie Oakley, except with a lot less fringe. And don't even get me started on the triple locking cylinder. It locks in the front, rear, and bottom. Now, what I love most is that smooth trigger pull. Ruger's got this single spring mechanism that makes pulling the trigger feel easier, and with that stainless steel construction, you've got durability that can stand up to anything short of a zombie apocalypse. Okay, seriously, if you're looking for a high-capacity revolver that's got power, precision, and good old American ruggedness, the Redhawk 5059's got you covered. Plus, it's versatile. It's got enough accuracy for sports shooting, but packs enough punch for personal defense. A revolver that's worth every single penny. $1,379 worth to be exact. That's cheaper than my ex's shoe collection, and I'd say a whole lot more useful. The Colt King Cobra Carry DAO is designed with everyday carry in mind. And let me tell you, this revolver knows how to make an impression. We're talking a sleek brushed stainless steel finish that makes it look fancier than a steak dinner at a 5-star restaurant. If that restaurant had a dress code of must love freedom. It's got a 2-inch barrel, which might not sound like much, but don't be fooled. This thing spits out .357 Magnums like it's got something to prove. And let me just say, if that doesn't stop the bad guys, then you better hope you're wearing your running shoes. This revolver's got a classic double action only trigger, so you ain't got to worry about fiddling with hammers when the chips are down. Just point, pull, and let the King Cobra do the talking. I'll admit that DAO pull does take some getting used to. It's got a bit of a long, deliberate squeeze, kind of like my last relationship, but you know, I digress. Once you get the hang of it, it's as reliable as a trusty old hunting dog. But let's talk ergonomics. The Hogue over-molded grip feels like it was made to fit my hand, or at least made to fit hands that had gripped a steering wheel through a 12-hour road trip with kids yelling in the back. You get it. It's sturdy, comfortable, and makes handling those powerful .357 rounds just a little bit easier. And while the 6-shot cylinder might not break any high-capacity records, let me tell you, if you need more than 6 shots, it might be time to reevaluate your life choices, or just carry a spare speed loader. If you ain't familiar, this here is a .357 Magnum revolver, and the 686 Plus packs 7 shots instead of your typical 6. That's right, folks. They threw in a bonus, like a baker's dozen, but for revolvers. It's almost like they knew I'd miss one when I'm out at the range after my second cup of coffee. Now let me tell you, that extra round, well, it might just make the difference between looking like a hero and explaining why you missed the target in front of your buddies. This model, all stainless steel, rugged, and, let's face it, stylish enough that it might just make your other revolvers jealous. The 686 Plus comes in different barrel lengths, but I'm rocking the 3-inch today. Kinda like me after Thanksgiving. Compact, but still packing enough to get the job done. And the grip came with some plastic grips, but you know old Buck's probably gonna slap some fancy wood on there. Gotta give it that classy shine for when I'm showing off at the barbecue. Now, let me tell you about the sights. You got yourself a pinned red ramp up front and fully adjustable sights in the back. Helps you zero in real nice, unless you're like me and still squinting like your grandma trying to read text off a smartphone. This bad boy's got a smooth double action pull with a single action that breaks lighter than my kid's promises to do the dishes. Y'all, the Smith & Wesson 686 Plus ain't just a gun, it's a statement. It's saying, I got style, I got power, and I ain't afraid to use them both. So if you're in the market for something that'll leave a mark on the range and get folks talking, well, this one's got your name all over it. Let's get shooting, y'all. The Taurus Raging Hunter .357 Magnum, or as I like to call it, the deer's worst nightmare. Now before we get into it, let me ask you something. You ever wanted a revolver that makes you feel like you're wielding a cannon, perhaps? Maybe without needing a chiropractor after each shot? Yeah, me too. Well, that's where this beauty steps in. This revolver ain't just for looking pretty in your gun safe. No sir, it's built like a tank and moves like a ballerina. In fact, it's got a barrel design so revolutionary, it's got less weight on it than me after a week of eating nothing but kale. I mean, who knew angular could mean accurate? But that's what you get here. Precision mixed with power, all while looking like a firearm straight out of a sci-fi movie. Taurus really said, hey, how about we make a revolver that looks cool and can knock over a buffalo? And boy, did they deliver. Now the Raging Hunter's got a 7-shot capacity, and let me tell you, that's music to my ears. 7 rounds, a good old .357 Magnum might not sound like a lot compared to some of those fancy pistols, but we're talking about revolvers, and that's about as loaded as my kid's Christmas wish list. Plus, shooting it feels about as smooth as a baby's bottom thanks to that factory-tuned porting and gas expansion chamber. And with a cushion grip that keeps a recoil as gentle as my Aunt Betty's bedtime stories, you could be out there all day plinking away. Whether you're out there hunting or just want to feel like you're in your own Western, this revolver's got you covered. And hey, at an MSRP of a little over $1,000, it's a heck of an investment if you're looking for something reliable, accurate, and with enough firepower to make the bad guys think twice. A revolver that's got more shots in the chamber than my ex-wife had reasons to go get milk. We're talking an 8-shot cylinder, and that's not too shabby for a wheel gun, especially when it's spitting out .357 Magnum or .38 special ammo. Now I'm telling you, this baby's got more capacity than my Uncle Earl's appetite at a barbecue, and trust me, that's saying something. For budget firearm, Taurus really brought their A-game with the 608. They threw in a hammer-forged barrel, which means you're getting reliability and accuracy all packed into a shiny piece of stainless steel. And let me tell you, that matte stainless finish, oh, it's smoother than a butter biscuit. Looking good enough that even my Wi-Fi is jealous of how sharp it is. And trust me, man, my Wi-Fi's got more issues than a tabloid. Now, one thing that stands out here is that sweet hand-fitted action and that crisp trigger. When you pull this trigger, it's like a handshake from your granddad. Firm, reliable, and it'll let you know you're in good hands. The front side's fixed while the rear side is adjustable, which is perfect if you're like me and you need a little extra help these days aiming at anything smaller than a barn door. So if you're looking for a high-capacity revolver without breaking the bank, the Taurus 608's a solid pick. It's got the looks and the capacity, and at an MSRP of $859, it's not going to have you selling your kidney to afford it. The Ruger GP100 7-shot model 1771 here, which took the original 6-shot design and decided, why not one more? Because sometimes you need that little extra, whether it's one more bullet or, one more slice of pie. You get it. Now, with its tank-like build and that chunky cylinder, it's almost like Ruger looked at the Smith & Wesson 686 Plus and said, we can do that too, but we're going to do it our way. But let me tell you, the GP100 ain't just about the looks. This bad boy's got a triple locking cylinder for a positive realignment that's more dependable than your morning cup of coffee. And trust me, if you're anything like me, that's saying a lot. The grip? Oh, it's got that classic Ruger feel. But what's cool is how easy it is to swap out for a custom one if you're feeling a little bit fancy. Plus, when it comes to maintenance, the GP100's got you covered. You don't need a toolbox the size of Texas to take this thing apart. Disassembly is a breeze, which means more time shooting and less time scratching your head over a pile of tiny screws. And let's not forget 7 shots. I know what you're thinking, Buck, isn't an odd number cylinder kind of weird? Yeah, it's like trying to squeeze in that 7th kid in your minivan, but somehow it works. And for $1,099, it's one of the best investments you can make for personal defense or even sports shooting. This beauty's got a scandium alloy frame, which means it's tough as nails but light enough that your arm won't feel like you've been doing bicep curls all day. Chambered in .357 Magnum and holding 8 rounds, it's basically Smith & Wesson giving you 2 more shots than usual. Like they're saying, hey, here's some extra freedom just in case. Perfect for personal defense, sports shooting, or even hunting, this revolver's got the versatility that makes you feel like you're ready for just about anything. And now I know what you're thinking, 8 rounds in a revolver, is this some kind of sci-fi gidgy gadget? Well, it sure feels like it. This baby's got an interchangeable sight system so you can trick it out just the way you like it. And if you're like me and you got a bit of trouble seeing past the end of your nose these days, you'll be happy to know it's optic ready too. Mount a red dot on there and suddenly you're shooting straighter than my cousin Earl after he finally quit drinking. God bless you, Earl. Plus, it's got equipment rails. Yep, you heard that right, rails on a revolver. Throw a flashlight or a laser on this thing and watch a tactical meet classic. Like someone put cowboy boots on a SWAT team member. The PC-tuned action? Smooth as butter on a hot biscuit. Trust me, y'all, the trigger on this thing feels like a dream, with a stop that makes sure you're pulling with precision. Now, an MSRP of $1,500 ain't exactly a budget buy, but you're getting a whole lot of bang for your buck, pun intended. Moon clips come included, making reloading fast and simple, no need to fumble around. It's all about efficiency here. It's got that no-nonsense look, and for a revolver that's high capacity and ready for just about anything, the Model 327 TRR8 deserves to be on the top of your wish list. It's like a tactical revolver your granddaddy never had, but you know he would have loved. If revolvers were like trucks, then the Korth NXS is the fully loaded, chrome-trimmed, turbocharged monster that makes the rest look like kiddie bikes. Now, I know that's a bold statement, but hang tight and I'll show you why. This bad boy is the cream of the crop when it comes to high-capacity revolvers. Heck, it's the kind of gun that'll have even your grandpa nodding in approval. The Korth NXS comes straight from Germany, which means it's built with the kind of precision that can make even a Swiss watchmaker shed a tear. This baby's packing an 8-shot cylinder, and yes, you heard that right, 8 big old shots. Now, that might not sound like a big deal if you're used to semi-autos, but for revolver fans, that's like finding out your old F-150 suddenly has a nitrous button. It's a first for Korth, and it makes the NXS a serious contender for the title of Best High-Capacity Revolver. Plus, that cylinder is cut for moon clips, meaning you can reload it faster than I can get my kids to stop asking for snacks. And y'all know that's saying a lot. But let's talk about those extra goodies, because Korth didn't just give us more firepower, they also went full tactical on this one. The NXS has a vented barrel shroud and an integrated Picatinny rail, perfect for slapping on some accessories. Want a flashlight, red dot, maybe even a toaster oven? Well, I'm not saying you should, but you could. It's got that DLC coated finish too, which means it's not just fancy, it keeps it tough, durable, and ready for whatever shenanigans you might find yourself in. And those Turkish walnut grips, ooh, they're classy. The kind of classy that says, I'm rugged, but I clean up real nice. Now, I'll be straight with you. All this luxury ain't cheap, with a price tag hovering around $5,299. This revolver costs more than my first car, but if you're in the market for the best of the best, something that'll make you feel like you're wielding pure German craftsmanship, the Korth NXS is practically in a league of its own. You got power, precision, and the unmistakable style that'll make everyone at the range take a second look. And hey, if nothing else, it definitely makes your Wi-Fi signal jealous, because this revolver's accuracy is on point. But tell me, what did you think is the best revolver shown in this video? Is there anything you'd add to the list? Leave a comment below. Subscribe and hit that notification to support more content just like this. Maybe you're a handgun person instead. Well, check out the video to your right all about subcompact pistols. Until next time, stay safe and carry smart.